I'm here in the Philippines, just like I said I'd be coming. And so we're doing this episode of the Lupine Epicurean, direct from South Forbes Gulf City, just southwest of Manila. And I, of course, have my fiance, Sherilyn, getting married in 2 weeks. Say hi. And so we've been visiting with family today, watched the movie. We're ready to sit down and eat a traditional Filipino meal. And what are we going to eat today, sweetie?
Spicy adobo and saute ampalaya.
Yeah. Ampalaya and spicy pork adobo today on the Lupine Epicurean. Welcome to yet another episode of the Lupine Epicurean, coming to you from the Philippines. This time around, we're going to start where we always start, which is with the ingredients. So, Sherilyn, tell us what ingredients we're going to need to make the sauteed ampalaya.
Okay, so we have here ampalaya and
How much of that do we have, would you say?
one.
Just one full ampalaya chopped up.
Yeah.
And you have to scoop out the inside to get to it, because you don't want all that gunk on the inside.
Yeah.
All right.
And we have here egg and onion and garlic and 1 teaspoon of salt.
1 teaspoon of salt, probably 2 cloves of garlic, about a 1/4 cup of onions, and then how much black pepper you want to put in?
Just
A pinch of black pepper to give it a little kick. We're also going to do pork adobo. Now, I have to warn you, this is not authentic pork adobo. It's my version of pork adobo. I spice it up quite a bit. I mean, it's the foundation is there, but it's Wolfie's version of pork adobo, just so that we all understand. So I've got about a 1/2 kilo of chopped pork here. I've got a nice prepackaged chili powder that I got from the store. Just 1 package. I'm not exactly sure how much that is, but however spicy you want it, you put as much as you want in there. Got about a 1/4 cup of vinegar, 1/4 cup of soy sauce, and I have a bowl here with my typical veggie gruel of chopped up onion, pepper, and a couple of cloves of garlic. So there you go. Those are the ingredients we need, and now we're going to get started doing some cooking. All right, so we've got about a tablespoon of olive oil going on in there. Go ahead. And Sherilyn's going to put in the 2 cloves of garlic to get those started frying. And you're just trying to saute those, right?
Yep.
Just get them, essentially get the garlic flavor releasing. And what kind of heat do you have that on? Is that high heat?
Yeah, high heat.
All right.
So I'm
And
going
the
to put this.
onions. Looking good. Put the onions in there. Picking that up, doing some saute work there. And are you going to need the egg or the ampalaya next?
Ampalaya first.
Alright. And there's the ampalaya. I'm going to take a piece of this. As you can see on the outside, it's got ridges. Like I said, you scoop out that inside there. It almost, it's a lot like just a huge celery. Yeah, there's some good garlic and onion smell coming off of that. What kind of taste does Ampalaya have? Is it kind of is it sweet or bitter?
Bitter.
Bitter. Nice bitter taste. As you all know, it's one of my favorite flavors is bitter. All right. And how long are we going to saute for?
Let's say at least 10 minutes.
Okay. Now, are we adding the egg during that 10 minutes, or are we waiting until the end? Later. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and work on that, and then we'll throw the egg in here in just a moment. All right. So, Sherilyn has put egg and salt in there now, and as you can see, there is a nice consistency. If you've ever used an egg with fried rice, you're going to get that same kind of and some pepper, and the pepper. So she's got that in there, and how much longer do we need to cook that before that's ready? Ready now?
It's ready now.
It's ready.
Yeah.
All right. We're good to go. We're going to start on the adobo.
Okay.
All right, so I've got about 2 tablespoons of canola oil in the pot. Usually I would do this in a wok, but we're here in our condo that we're renting for the month in the South Forbes, and all we have is this pot. So we're just going to have to make do with it. I'm going to go ahead and get about 1/4 cup onions, 1/4 cup of green pepper, and then 2 chopped up cloves fry into this pot, because that's going to be my first flavor. You all know how much I love onions and green peppers anyway, so we're going to get that going. And we're just doing a simple saute here. We're not really cooking these items because this is just the foundation. So once I get these going, I'm going to add some stuff really quickly. So that's good. There's a nice gloss on there. I've got it on 5 out of 6 on heat. So this is slightly above medium. And nice and juicy at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and add my pork. And like I said, I've got about a ½ kilo of center cut loin pork here. And we've cut this into cubes and chunks of, it doesn't necessarily have to be uniform. You want to have bits and pieces. That is what we have. As you can see, as usual, I like to put the meat in piece by piece, because I like even distribution. The pork that we got here is actually a little fattier than what I would use, since we had to get it at a local Filipino market. But we are looking good there. And we'll go ahead and get it stirred up so that some distribution of heat. And it's going to take a few minutes to start browning that. So we will come back for the other ingredients. Alright, so I've got pork is starting to get white now. Still got some good juiciness there, but that's going to change here in just a second. Because I'm going to go ahead and take that pre-package of chili powder and start adding that. I'm going to add about half of it. I don't want to add all of it right now. What's going to happen is that's going to dry it out. So that's part of my spicy. There's a lot of heat in there right now on the spicy. So I've dried it out, and now I'm going to need some fluid. And of course, since it is adobo, the fluid that we need is soy sauce. And of course, it just killed my heat. That's okay. We're going to let that cook. Now we've got a foundation for the sauce, which at the moment is soy and spicy. But again, it's adobo, and it's not adobo if it doesn't have vinegar. So my 1/4 cup of vinegar goes in now. And stir it some more. Meat's still cooking. I've still got it above medium on heat with all that other wonderful stuff in there. All right. I'm going to add just a little bit more chili powder. And I don't usually add this, but to make it a little bit more authentic, we are going to go ahead and add, oh look at that, I did it again, 2 shows in a row. Forgot to take off my, lid. Oh, and you can hear it bubbling. Listen to that. That bubbling is a good sound. We've got a lot of heat going in there. We've got those flavors starting to infuse with one another. So instead of having, flavors dying, those flavors are mixing together. You're going to have a unique flavor. Pork adobo, chicken adobo, it has a unique adobo flavor. And it's because of all those different flavors together. Anyway, so I was saying, I don't usually do this, but it is a little bit more traditional to put bay leaf in with your adobo. So I'm going to try to get, I think 2 in here is going to be plenty for me, and maybe some crumbs. That is another good flavor. It's boiling down in there. I've got chili powder. Oh, we love the chili powder. So, now that's boiling, I'm going to add the last of my chili powder. That's going to, I'll just warn you, this is a spicy dish. If you don't like it spicy, this is probably going to kill you. But it's good. If you like it spicy, if you like it hot, then you're going to love a dish like this. Man, I also have to qualify this time around. This isn't so much of an experiment. I've made this dish several times. And of course, Sherilyn has made Ampalaya several times. So this is really just our way of sharing a meal and breaking bread with our friends out there in internet land who like to watch the show and come to my foodie website, lupinepicurean.blogspot.com. So at this point, I need to just let it simmer and cook. Let that vinegar and that soy sauce and the bay leaf and the chili powder just really work its way in. At this point, I'm actually going to go ahead and move my heat down to medium to let it cook. I may even go down to low here in the next couple of minutes, and then we'll come back and we're going to try it. All right, so here we are. We're ready for the reaction shot. We have got some spicy pork adobo. We have got some fried and sauteed ampalaya. I say ampalaya, but it's say
Ampalaya.
Ampalaya. Oh, I said it right. And of course, we've got some rice, because you can't have a Filipino meal without rice. That's just all there is to it. So we're going to give this a try. I'm going to try the ampalaya. Sherilyn's going to try the adobo, so go for it. Let's see what we got here. What do you think of the adobo? Yeah?
Tastes good.
How spicy is it?
Spicy.
Really spicy? What about the flavors?
Okay. The flavor is it's good.
Tastes good. I am tasting the ampalaya, and she's very correct. This is very much a bitter tasting, and it is a lot like celery, almost just like a humongous celery. But what's really nice is the egg milds that a little bit, and it's got the garlic in there as well, so that really helps them. Now I'm going to try some of my adobo. I love my adobo. Oh. Now, I use chili powder for this. Usually, I use chipotle powder. Chipotle powder is going to make it off the hook spicy. This actually, for me, isn't very spicy. It's got a little bit of heat. It could be spicier, but for Sherilyn, it's plenty spicy, right? Probably wouldn't want more than that. So, it's a nice thing about adobo is you can try and play around with the types of chili powder that you use, because there's a lot of different types out there. And of course, the rice. And I do like the bay leaf. The bay leaf flavor, I do like that in there. I'll probably start doing that more from now on. So,
So use that.
Say again?
I told you to use that.
Yes, you did. My sweetie told me to use the bay leaf, and she was right. It's much better that way. So, there we have it. A traditional Filipino meal of spicy pork adobo, fried ampalaya, and rice. And that's what we're doing here today on the Lupine Epicurean. So thank you much for coming to watch yet another episode of the Lupine Epicurean, where today we did what?
Ampalaya.
And?
Spicy.
Spicy pork adobo. How spicy was it?
Oh, my mouth is on fire.
Her mouth is on fire. That's how spicy it was. So, as usual, if you want to learn how to, if you want the actual recipe for what we did tonight, come on over to the foodie website, the Lupine Epicurean, at lupicurian.blogspot, help me out here, Sherilyn, .com, and you can see the recipe. And as usual, if you want to learn how to make something new, inexpensive, quick, and easy, always come back here to the Wicked Wolf Studios channel on YouTube, right here, there, right here, and yeah, and you can learn more. So I want to thank my sweetie Sherilyn. We're getting married in 2 weeks, and then I head back to the U.S. Thanks, Sherilyn, for whipping up the ampalaya, showing us how to do that for our traditional Filipino meal tonight. So, in the meantime, we'll see you in the kitchen. Traditional Filipino meal. So, what are we going to have today, sweetie?
Oh, we have.